I'm going to talk about an MLA report today, and first I'm going to talk about how to add a header and insert a page number. For my paper, I added a header right here, and your header should contain your last name and the page number that you're on. So to add this header, you can go to the Insert tab and then click Page Number. And then on this, you go to the top of the page and it gives you options. And the option that I chose is plain number 3. So on this, you click on it and it'll show up on your screen. But then you need to click a box that says to different first page, because on the first page of your paper, you're not going to want a header. So on this, I clicked on it, typed Hunt, and then the number 2 is already there, and that applies to your whole paper. So in this, when you have Hunt and you have your last name and the number 2, you will highlight it, make sure it's Times New Roman and 12-point font, just like the rest of your paper. Next, I'm going to talk about the heading of the paper, and in each heading, it should be indented. The heading should be indented to right here, the 1-inch mark. And the first line of your heading should be your first and last name. The next line should be the teacher of the class. And then the third line is the class that you're taking and writing the paper for. And the last line is the date at which the paper is due. And the date should be formatted as the letter or the number that the paper is due, then the month, and then the year. There should be no space in between these, no extra space, and there should be 12-point font and Times New Roman, just like the rest of the paper. The next thing I'm going to talk about is how to insert a footnote. So in my paper, I insert a footnote on return on investment because it's sometimes a hard word to understand. And so the first thing you need to do is highlight what you are wanting to footnote. And then you go to the References tab and then click Insert Footnote. This will insert a little number 1 right after the word, and then it'll insert 1 down here in a place for you to type what that word means. So you put the definition of the word, and then you need to also tab this whole line, the first line. And in this, you want this to be at the bottom of the page that you have the word, and that's done automatically. And this will also be 12-point font and Times New Roman. Now for a long quote. This is my long quote in my paper, and for a quote to be indented like this, it needs to be 3 or more lines long. And it needs to be introduced right up here. This is my introduction. And then after this, your quote should be its own little paragraph. So after this, at this point, you will hit Enter. And then Tab. And this needs to be right here. It needs to be at the 1-inch mark all the way in through the paragraph. So you would highlight the whole thing and indent it to the 1-inch mark. And then after your quote, you would press Enter again and continue on with your entire paragraph. This paragraph does not have to be, or should not be in quotes at all, and it should be in 12-point font and Times New Roman. Lastly, I'm going to talk about the Work Cited page. On this page, your Work Cited should all be in alphabetical order, and they should be in 12-point font and Times New Roman. To get the hanging indent that you need for this, you could highlight all of your Work Cited and go to Home, Paragraph button, Line Spacing Options, and then click the hanging. The Works Cited page should be its own separate page from the paper and include a heading and page number.